All right, we're starting maybe a new thing this year. We're going to start doing some video reviews of significant events, maybe like the draft, or maybe like when a quarterback tears his ACL in a critical playoff game, get some live reactions or something like that. So,
Too soon.
starting out the season with a little review of the draft. Figured there's a guy who wasn't at the draft that usually talks a little bit during the draft and gives some perspective on what his thoughts are on some of the picks. So, I'll give him a chance here tonight to provide that perspective. How you doing, Ross?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
All right. So before we start the draft review, can you give us the top three moments of the Boot Barn wedding that you were attending?
Oof. I think overall, being an hour away, yet so far away, not at the draft, killed a part of me, but it was actually a really good weekend with this barn venue. Brother-in-law got married, a lot of good time, family times, lots of laughs, dancing, a lot of tap beer consumed. Roasted Julie's brother with all of his buddies. It was a great time. Learned that for about the last 10 years, they've been calling him Scooter, and it's named after a gay bar in Eau Claire. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. Turns out there's
Yeah,
maybe worse nicknames than Ross, actually.
yeah, it could be. And you got to wear that vest.
Oh, yeah. Look,
Technical times. Technical times.
looks really great.
All right. Didn't hear
Take a good look.
right there, but it looks really good. Was there a shirt worn underneath it all night long?
No, there definitely was not.
Right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can hear you now.
Okay.
Did you had to fit in with the crowd, right?
Yeah, there was a couple other guys that did not have the shirt underneath, so I had to fit in with them. But yeah, the vest is not great, Ron. I'll never wear it again, probably.
Mm-hmm. So,
But the hey dudes I've got, so if I ever need to storm the Capitol, I'm ready for that.
ready to go?
Yeah, I think FaceTiming with Eric for a little bit to get a taste of the APL weekend was also one of the highlights. Greg kept me up to date with pictures of food and Solomon drafting with the gas station magazine and highlighters. So I got some taste of the draft, some pictures of Eric of you guys playing that card game, which looked like a good time.
Yep.
Good weekend though.
All right. So was there any FOMO for missing draft weekend there?
Probably a tie between golfing, because I really love golfing with you guys, especially making fun of Greg's swing, and then just the pics of everyone laughing at Cards Against Humanity. It did make me feel better that Tank also missed most of Friday night after drinking a bottle of whiskey, so it wasn't too bad for me, I guess.
Yeah, Cards Against Humanity wasn't fun at all.
No.
So you didn't miss much there. It was
the pictures of you guys laughing was killing me. Another tidbit I'll say is texting Daggy for updates throughout the day Friday just to figure out what I'm missing on golf and drinking beer, and his responses were, "This is my last response. We will have fun." And then after we FaceTimed, he texts me and says, "Don't call again."
I like it.
And I buried it. I buried it deep, went back to the wedding festivities.
All right. The group text for the weekend that you weren't on was pretty good too. So
God, is that real?
Oh, it's not fake. Not.
Is it still going?
No way of knowing.
Yeah. Oh, damn you guys. It has been kind of quiet. A lot of Bleacher Report text from Corey, and that's about it lately.
Yeah,
so
that's what we discussed. Just the Bleacher Report is it. All the good stuff is in the other one.
It's the Patreon APL draft text chain.
Yep, that's exactly what
that's about right.
All right. So last question before we get started. Can you walk me through your reaction to Greg giving you a call with the second pick?
I was pretty sure he was going to go Andrews based on some intel I had that was actually not true. So then when he called me, I figured he knew I really wanted Jefferson. And as he's walking it up there, I was like, oh, this is not going to go the way I want it to go. And then he took him, and I let him have his moment of fame. He knows he's not going to have a great season, that I'm gonna take him down this year after he edged me out for the last playoff spot. So I'll let him have his moment of fun, but I wasn't too happy. I really like Jefferson.
All right. It was one of my highlights of the draft, so I enjoyed it quite a bit.
What song was he playing again during that?
I don't remember.
It's a pretty good one, I think.
Oh, Laffy Taffy. Yep.
Oh yeah. That was it.
Top 5 song of probably of draft history, maybe. It's pretty good.
Yeah. How much did Tank like my country songs?
I think he was okay with it. He liked the theme going along with the Boot Barn. So
that's fair. Yep.
All right, so we did draft. Tank drafted first. So we're gonna go through kind of like person by person here of
All right.
what happened. So Tank had the first pick. He did a normal first pick thing and took a tight end early. Then he mixed in a ton of running backs and wide receivers and then grabbed a quarterback late. Kind of thought he might take a quarterback early based on his horseshit quarterback performance last year, which kind of plagued his team for most of the year, along with Andrews being hurt. But he didn't. Waited and got a quarterback late. So quarterbacks are Geno and Aaron Rodgers. So Geno's probably fine. He was on your team last year. He was fine, and you didn't still like starting him. But
Never started him ever.
But he'll probably get started this year because Tank took Aaron Rodgers as his backup, and he was fucking bad last year. 266 points per game was his average. I think that Tank would be well aware of this because he was on his team all year last year. His high was 344 points. So he looked real bad. He was disinterested. Now he's on a new team. Looks like he's interested now. He has an offensive coordinator who allegedly was like good for him in Green Bay, but he was a disaster last year in Denver. So that really might just be LaFleur, not Hackett at all. And his tools he's throwing to, it's Garrett Wilson's better than Christian Watson right now, but the rest of it, it's just like all the same guys. So I don't really see how that's how there's much upside there.
He was hurt last year, I think, but who knows? It's not someone I would love to start. Hopefully won't have to start him if Geno keeps it up what he was doing last year, but I wouldn't be too excited about Rodgers on my team.
He has a coach who's really good at defense and probably just wants to run the ball like 60 times a game and have Rodgers throw it when he needs to, and just needs a serviceable quarterback. But we're picking on a 10th round pick. I just probably would have picked Goff instead of Rodgers there. I think there's some more.
Oh yeah.
So running back room looks, I would say, pretty good. Ramondre is the first running back. ETN is number 2. Kamara is his 3rd. Swift 4, and then Jeff Wilson 5. Obviously, Jeff Wilson is dead for a while now, which is a little unexpected. Stevenson, maybe a little criticism there. He was the 8th running back taken in our draft. He was the 13th running back taken in the rest of the world ADP. So a little early. Might have been some other dudes there that could have taken. And
I like him, but it seemed a little bit high. But I'm trying to remember who was drafted right after him.
Right after him would have been Josh Jacobs, Gibbs, Mixon, and then a ways after some other guys we'll talk about later. So,
it's close. I may prefer some of those other guys, but it's close. Yeah.
But if you like Stevenson, fine. I just think he fell off a little bit at the end of the year last year, and I don't trust Belichick. But ETN, good. Kamara, he
4 games.
A little early. He's out 3. It's a little early. So he was the 21st running back taken in ours, 25th everywhere else. He was on like a lot of my teams last year. Kind of not really a surprise.
Staple.
Yeah. He was really bad last year. He looked like shit. So reports of training camp are that he looks better. So we'll see. It's a 7th round pick, so he's not wasting a lot there, but I'm not convinced that he's over the hill. So Swift, good running back in the Philly offense.
Swift was blacklisted this year. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Had a bad experience last year.
Yeah, 3rd round. It was rough.
Yeah. I remember.
Don't want that, no.
The wide receiver room looks real good. Diggs, Devonta, McLaurin, who seems like he's gonna play week 1. So, Ayuk and Zay Flowers. So it's a pretty strong top to bottom there, 1 through 5.
Yep. I'd agree.
The concern is maybe Diggs, if he goes Antonio Brown on it, which guys on Tank's team have been known to do that before. So
if he has a strong PR department.
Elevated risk. Yeah. But wide receiver really good. Tight ends, Kelsey. I think you got to take him first. Sucks that he has an issue now, but it would be interesting if you just picked the wrong year to go Andrews or Kelsey. So
yeah, he hasn't missed a game in like 10 years, but I mean, hopefully he's only out a week or 2, and then he's back for the stretch run. Those games mean more anyway, so not too bad. But
yeah, you probably won't bring it up much at all if Andrews outplays Kelsey this year.
Probably about as much as he brings up my name's not on the trophy. About the same.
Yeah. So again, going to pick a little bit on 11th round pick. So Dulcich is the backup tight end taken in the 11th round. he's taken in front of a few guys like Njoku, Dalton Schultz, and then the rookie guys Laporta and Musgrave. Just don't see a lot of upside with Dulcich. He's in Denver. Peyton's going to run the ball a ton. Not going to pass a lot. He's going to split time with Troutman. Just don't think there's a lot of upside there, but
I did trade for him last year, so I did like him at one point, but
you did. Yeah. He had an impressive run when you traded for him and then nothing.
Then died.
So,
yeah, I like Njoku on my team a lot better than Dulcich, I won't lie to you.
yeah. So total it all up. If I'm picking, I think his best pick is either Devonta or Ayuk. They both last a little longer than they should have, and I think they're good spots. I'd probably take Stevenson as maybe the worst pick, but again, you can take him. Not a huge criticism. Average points per week is about 11-15. I believe that is the highest point total for the league. So the starting line looks pretty strong. And
wow.
A lot of it's driven by Kelsey. So we'll see how long Kelsey's out and if that hurts him. So overall, I'd say pretty strong.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg is the second pick. Obviously, we talked about the Jefferson pick. Greg was just missing one pick. He's missing his 8th rounder. He didn't have any extra picks. He structures his team, I'd say, pretty similar to how Greg usually does. He took a quarterback and a tight end early, which is pretty normal for him. So quarterbacks, I think, look pretty good. You got Hurts in the late second. I thought Hurts might go earlier than that, so I thought he was a good value where he took him. He was great this year. And then Goff is his backup. So a lot of hype around the Lions. I had him last year. He was okay. So maybe he'll be better this year. We'll see. Running backs, there's some stuff to talk about here. So in the 3rd round, he took Pierce. 4th round, he took Dalvin, and then Miles Sanders in the 7th, and then Brian Robinson in the 10th. So we'll leave the A topic for last. But so Sanders in the 7th is fine. He plays for Carolina. He's going to be an every down back. I can't stand him, but I understand picking him there. He's going to carry the ball a lot. Brian Robinson, sure, in the 10th, no problem. Washington should be fine. The enemy looks to be getting the backs involved in the passing game, and so him and Gibson are splitting time, so that's fine. So Pierce in the 3rd might be a little early. He was a 12th running back taken in our league. Would go 18th in most leagues, so a little early, but again, I think I could justify some of that hype on he got all the snaps in the preseason with 3rd down. So maybe he's going to have that role this year that he didn't have last year.
Who went right after him for running backs?
ETN went in the turn after Tank. So ETN,
I think I did.
Over Pierce probably would go that way, but ETN not going to catch the ball a ton either. So
right.
I also was listening today. The Texans' offensive line is like decimated. So could be a problem. But I won't rip the Pierce pick too much if that's the guy you wanted. He's not going to be there when you come back again. But
no.
There. So Dalvin is a little bit of a talking point. When you were tracking the draft, haphazardly through the wedding, when you saw Dalvin come through, what was your reaction?
I think I was done with wedding pictures and back in the barn at this point drafting, and I saw that come through and I was like, I laughed, my jaw hit the floor. I didn't want him at all. I would maybe have taken him in the 10th round, maybe 4th. Bit of a rube pick, I won't lie. Maybe he'll find the fountain of youth, and maybe Breece Hall won't be healthy, but I wouldn't bet it on it.
He is the 14th running back taken in our league, 26th in other drafts in the rest of the world. So yeah, a little early.
Yeah,
I was really hoping for the Christmas vacation line there. With you couldn't have been more surprised if you woke up with your
my head sewn to the carpet. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. I think it's early. I think you could have got Dalvin several rounds later if that's who you were. I'm not a big believer in that he's totally washed up. I thought he looked pretty good for us the last couple of years. I just think they're going to split time there, and I think Breece is probably the better back. So in the long run, he's going to get more run. So
is Dalvin even practicing now? I think he's still recovering from shoulder surgery, isn't he?
Yeah, they said he's going to play. Said both are going to play this weekend. So
okay, we'll see.
So we'll move on. Dalvin, if we're picking the worst pick in the draft, Greg may win 2 years in a row. he would say his worst pick in the draft last year would turned out to be the 4th best quarterback in the league. So
Who was that last year?
that was Burrow. So
Mm.
after he took Herbert and Burrow like back to back. So
Oh yeah.
necessarily the player, it was just the method that was used. So
Yeah.
I think Greg would probably love to know that everybody.
And he traded one of them for something good, didn't he?
Yeah, he traded him, I wouldn't say for something good. He traded him and got Mixon. After Mixon had already had his
Blown up.
5 touchdown game and didn't do much the rest of the year.
Otherwise known as the hot wing game.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
They weren't that bad, really.
Okay.
So running or wide receiver, you got JJ, DeAndre Hopkins. So that's a pretty strong start. Hopkins was a little bit of value, went like 3 spots later than he normally does. In the 6th round, he's got Hollywood as his 3rd, took him in the 9th round.
Josh Dobbs is throwing the ball though, but
he doesn't have a quarterback. That could be
no.
As Greg said after the draft, he thinks they're going to pass a lot. He's correct on that. I just don't know if they're going to be anywhere near the guy so you can catch him. We'll see.
No.
Sky Moore, 12th round pick. I like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good value for a guy who's probably going to be the leading wide receiver there. He could have everybody's talking about him having a Juju-like role for this, and Juju was decent last year. Maybe he can do more because his knees aren't made out of paper mache. So Nico Collins is his last receiver. He took him in the 17th round. So
sure. That's not a bad pick either. I kind of like that pick. Yeah.
Houston's going to be terrible. They're going to pass a lot. So on him. And if he sucks, then you move on. So tight ends, I like both of them. Took Goddard in the 3rd, and then took Juwan Johnson late in the 13th. So lots of hype on Juwan.
Yeah, Goddard in the 3rd seemed like a little high. I'm trying to think who was available at that point for tight ends.
It was everybody other than Kelsey, Andrews, and Hawkinson. So he took Goddard for Kittle and Waller. Probably.
I can see that. I just think there's probably other receivers or running backs available. You could have taken other than Goddard, but maybe if you want a tight end, you got to get one early.
Yeah, he's not getting a tight end on the way back there, and the stack with Hurts and Goddard could be fun. So
I like stacks.
Yes. So it's kind of the run through. I'd say it's an all right draft. The Dalvin pick is the standout. Looking at the starting lineup, it looks pretty good. It's 1,025 for the total points, so about 90 points less than Tank. It comes out to second to last there, but it's mainly driven by Dalvin. So if Dalvin's better, then it looks better.
So he's starting Dalvin then because he's got Pierce and Dalvin are his top 2 backs.
Yep, or Miles Sanders.
Oh yeah. Maybe start Sanders.
So we'll move over to Corey. Corey picked 3rd. He's missing a 5th rounder and didn't have any extra picks. And say a little surprising. Corey went with Mahomes out of the gate at number 3. Corey's not usually a early quarterback guy. He's more of a running back guy. So it's a little surprised by that. But the quarterback room looks decent. Mahomes and Justin Fields. Got Fields super late, like in the 13th. If you look at his stats last year when he had his breakout season, he was still bad in APL. He had like a good week when he ran for like 1,000,000 yards and 200. So if there's a Hurts like upswing in the Fields realm this year, then that's a really nice pick, but could be an open roster spot too. We'll see. Mahomes, no problems with that. I think he's good. I don't think it matters who's around him. He'll just make people good. So running backs, Corey did a good job of picking up guys that were falling. So got Jacobs in the 3rd. Bleacher Report, of course, was all over it. He got an alert on his phone that Jacobs had signed his deal and then promptly drafted him right after that. So
during the draft, this happened.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Having those alerts come through comes in clutch there. Gives him chance to take Jacobs. Took Najee Harris in the 6th round. He fell a ton. He's 11th running back taken in most leagues. He was the 20th in ours. Nobody wanted anything to do with him, but scooped up some value there in the 6th, which
that's a good value.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Obviously, nobody wanted him because they think he's going to lose his job, but he's a first round pick. They're probably going to give him the ball a lot. See how it goes. Pacheco in the 8th, I think is fine, right at ADP, and teams him up with Mahomes there, so probably get all the majority of the KC touchdowns there. Khalil Herbert, much to Greg's chagrin, there was his 10th round pick. I think that's a good one. Bears seem to be favoring him as the lead back there, and then Algier is the 5th running back, and
real pick.
Something. It's the Falcons. They're going to run the ball a lot, so why not? And if Bijan gets hurt, then he's got a guy who's get the ball a ton. So wide receiver, there might be some questions here. So Devontae Adams is in the 2nd round. No problems with that. Taken right where he needs to be. He was a monster last year. He's like the only guy that can catch the ball in Vegas, so it's good. And then we go, like, if we roll back the clock, maybe like 5 to 7 years, these guys are monsters. But we got a trio of Mike Evans in the 7th, Beckham in the 9th, and Mike Thomas in the 11th. So, Evans was, aside from 1 week where Jake loved him, he was really bad last year, and he had Tom Brady throwing to him. Now he has Baker Mayfield throwing to him, which could be a big concern.
Or Kyle Trask.
Either one, it's not good.
Not that it's better.
Not good either way. So, he's in the 9th. Offense should be fun, but we could probably, I should have put in the APL bet sheet, like what week will Beckham get hurt, and it'll probably be in the single digits. So
he hasn't had like a monster year since like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
He hasn't even been he even had an okay year since like 2020. I don't think so. It's fountain of youth, maybe.
Little concerning there. Mike Thomas. I know your thoughts on Mike Thomas. You love him.
Won't touch him. Don't like him.
There, I think in the 11th round, sure, it's a decent risk in the 11th round that he gets that could be dominant, but he hasn't really played in 3 years and has been hurt constantly.
Yeah,
Johnston is his last receiver there for San Diego, so I like the shot there, the 14th round. Take a shot at the rookie flyer and see what happens.
Rookie first rounder, that could pay off.
See what happens in LA with that offense. Tight ends, he took Ingram early, or not early-ish in the fourth round. So he was, all the tight ends went, Pitts went, and then Ingram is kind of the last, I'd say, more talked about guy out there. So Corey got the tight end combo there with Ingram, and then Cole Kmet is the backup, who that'll be an open roster spot pretty quick because I don't think he's any good, but we'll see.
Got like 50 million. Maybe the Bears think he's good. I don't know.
Total waste of money.
Ryan Pace, baby.
Yeah. So Corey's total comes out to 1,064 on average. It's kind of it's up there. It's like the 4th best total in the league. Kind of surprised me when you look at it. Obviously a lot of it's driven by Mahomes, who's going to average around 400 points a game. Jacobs is going to be workhorse too. Ingram can put up some points. We'll see if Corey can figure out some stuff there with the receivers, or if those receivers end up being good. Could be scary. We'll see. All right. So next is you. You're picking 4. I got a lot of questions for you.
And I'm the co-host, so I gotta get grilled here.
Yeah. So I think maybe we'll go through this position by position. So Lamar and Richardson are the quarterbacks. So we pay attention to a lot of the same stuff. A lot of our stuff says that Lamar is going to be a monster this year with the new offense, and they're going to pass a lot, and he has a contract. He's going to play through injuries and all that stuff. So you're all in on Lamar, and I get it. No questions there. Was there any thought of taking him earlier? Were you hoping he would get there? Was he your target going into the draft?
He wasn't necessarily my only target. I was a couple guys I like Herbert a lot. I was surprised Herbert went as early as he did. I didn't think he would fall that, where I took Lamar, but I think when I came to pick on the 6th, I knew I didn't have a 7th, and I didn't love the flex options at that spot. So I was like, I'm just going to stack Lamar with Andrews, and it could be fun.
Could be.
I had Lamar a few years ago when he was a monster, and then he's been not great since and hurt a lot. So it's a risk for sure, but could pay off.
You are aware that Lamar has health issues.
Yes.
And so you backed him up with a guy that is like a worse version of Josh Fields.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't love my backup quarterback. I'm going to drop him soon, probably.
Yeah. Were there attempts to get anybody else at quarterback?
Yeah, so if I had been keeping accurate track of who was taken, I would have taken Fields there, but I thought he was gone. So I texted my drafter, Matt Johnson, said I'd take Deshaun Watson. And I figured that'd go over real well, and Matt said no. So then I said, just for you, buddy. And he goes, no. I'm like, okay, then I guess I'm taking Anthony Richardson.
All right. So we'll see who the big quarterback is after week 1, and that'll be your backup quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Richardson's gonna be around much. They have no running game. They have one receiver. They're gonna be god awful.
And it says we have 10 minutes left. So this is gonna be a 2-parter. We'll get halfway through and switch. So all right. So running back room, Pollard.
Love him.
Love him. Rashad White is the next guy. So you wait until the 8th round. You're missing a 5th and a 7th. So not a lot of opportunity to take somebody earlier.
Right.
You should get volume. His team is really bad though. So you're not concerned about that, or there's concern?
I mean, I think between him and Monty, I've got a viable RB2. I think Rashad White wasn't that great last year, but he should catch a lot of balls, and they're going to be bad, so they'll throw a lot, hopefully. They don't really have much behind him in the running back stable, so I think he'll still be the starter. Hopefully 3 down back, catch a lot of balls, and be fine where I took him, I think. If not, I think Montgomery will be decent.
Okay. It's your 4th running back. On purpose, you took AJ Dillon. Like, was that a Johnny pick, or was that?
No, that was me. I don't know what I don't. You might have to remind me who was there at that point. I don't love him. I really don't like him at all, but I think I just kind of panicked and was like, maybe Aaron Jones will get hurt or be terrible because he's 30 and maybe he'll get the starting job, but I didn't love the pick.
Yeah, so Khalil Herbert went right after him.
Yeah, as soon as after I picked him and looked at it, I was like, oh shit, I like Herbert a lot better.
Yeah, and then Brian Robinson went, and then like a whole round went, and then Jalen Warren went after that, and Jamal Williams, Tank Bigsby, Samaje. So pretty much any of those guys are better than AJ Dillon.
The problem with Dillon is going to be probably too good to drop unless somebody explodes in the waiver wire. Maybe not.
He's not good. I had him last year, hoping that he'd be good when I had all the scraps. I actually was hoping to trade him to you, but he was never any good. So.
Oh my God, he was decent the year before, but he was not good last year.
No. So then, sorry. So Rashad Penny is the 13th rounder. I like that one. Take a shot.
You don't know who's going to merge out of that backfield.
Yeah, and he'll be broken by week 3 too. So you'll have
probably
another roster spot there. But
so 4 and 5 running backs are not great, but between the top 3, hopefully I can sustain that.
Feeling good. All right. Yeah. So wide receiver, AJ Brown, good.
Yep.
3rd rounder. Taken at the right spot. DK Metcalf. He's took him maybe a little bit early, but yeah, it's fine in the ADP spot where he went.
Yeah.
I don't love him. He caught 90 passes last year, and he didn't like have any elite upside, but I can't really talk too much shit about him either. London is your 3rd receiver, so you took him in the 8th. Any concerns about that Atlanta throws the ball like 18 times a game there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not confident Pitts being a big target hog. I think London gets a lot of targets. That's the skill he has. He was a rookie receiver, good. I think he's only going to get better. Ritter can't be much worse than what's his nuts from quarterback show. Name escapes me. Mariota, yeah. I think Ritter could be good. Or not good, but better than Mariota. So I think Drake London as a 3rd receiver is completely fine. He could be better than that, I think, too.
Yeah. All right. Jerry Jeudy was next. I believe that was a Johnny pick who may not have been aware that he is dead.
Yeah, I didn't love that pick when it went through. I mean, before the injury, I would have been fine taking him, but where he got picked, I think was a bit early with the hamstring. But it sounds like maybe he won't miss much time. But
yeah, he probably
on the stretch, hopefully he's good if he stays healthy. But
he probably wouldn't have been there in the late 8th if he wasn't hurt. But
yeah, true.
Throw him on the IR and see what happens. Deontay Johnson is towards the end of the 9th round. I like that pick a lot. It's good.
I like him too. No touchdowns last year, but if he bounces back to 2 years ago.
Yeah, I drafted him last year. He was really bad. Like all year. Not worth starting, but maybe Pittsburgh gets better and goes. tight end is super strong. You got Mark Andrews, maybe a concern with the injuries and all that kind of stuff, but you grabbed Njoku, who fell super far. Not sure why.
Yep.
And there to back him up. So overall, seems pretty strong. So point total is 1,064. Or no, 1,062. So like 2 points behind Corey. So pretty high up there. It's all driven by Andrews, and the average share on Lamar is 328, which I think could be more too. So I think there's some upside there.
No Chad Ryland or my 3 defensive ends. No talk about that.
Yeah, I've kind of been skipping kicker and defense, but yeah, the defensive ends were entertaining. And the exchange on the kicker was great. So we shared that with the whole group, and everybody loved.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is Chad Ryland? He's your kicker.
So good.
Yeah. So overall, how are you feeling about the draft? Do you want to draft like this again? Do you love your team?
I definitely don't want to miss another draft ever. I will be there pending a wedding or funeral. I will be at all future drafts. Overall, I think Johnny only made 1 pick for me other than the Deshaun Watson pick that I would have liked to make, but much rather be there. But I like my squad a lot, especially missing a couple of early picks. I like my squad a lot.
You winning the division?
It was that?
Are you winning the division?
No, I think it's going to be a dogfight for the third playoff spot in our division.
All right. So Jake is up next, but we're running out of time. So I'm gonna stop the recording and we'll merge this thing together. So hold please.